Yo, what's going on, good people? This your man Chris Thorns. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching my content. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, got an update for you. So hey, let's get right into it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you take a look at the picture scrolling over there to which is my left, which probably should be your left or may be your right on your computer. I don't know. I did a story about these two individuals right here by Bianca, by the name of Bianca Clayborne and Deonte Williams. The story goes that they got pulled over for a traffic stop, and hours later after the traffic stop, they lost their kids to the Child Protective Services. The police claimed that they smelled marijuana, that they admitted to smoking marijuana, and Deonte is supposed to be a convicted felon, and they found a gun in the car. And from my understanding, if you're a convicted felon, you're not supposed to be around guns. Again, I always tell you I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawers, so y'all can tell me if that's how they work or whatnot. But anyway, though, yeah, he was had a gun in the car, and he's a convicted felon, and they had children in the car as they was smoking marijuana. Also, they got pulled over because the windows on the car was tinted, and they was driving in the left lane without passing, So they got slapped with a few charges, but at the end of the day, it turned out to be misdemeanors. Okay. Then we also heard in the video that I did that they're claiming that these two are not telling the whole story. Okay, apparently there's supposed to be more to this story, which we're gonna get into a little bit of this. Let's get into this right now. Let's see them pull this up, and let's do it.
Tonight, two black parents are in a desperate fight with the state of Tennessee over custody of their children.
5 children taken away while one of them were still breastfeeding. The father locked in a cage, having to make bond for a citable offense.
Emotions running high after more than a month of separation following a traffic stop. This nightmare for Deonte Williams and Bianca Clayborne began on February 17th when the family was pulled over while driving from Atlanta to Chicago for a funeral. An arrest warrant obtained by NBC News says Tennessee Highway Patrol stopped Williams for having dark tint and driving in the left lane while not actively passing. An officer smelled weed and after searching the car found a gun, officials say, and 2 small amounts of marijuana. The warrant also alleges both the driver and the female passenger admitted to smoking marijuana. Williams was arrested for possession while Clayborne was given a citation.
We did not arrest the mother in this particular case. That's where we left it. The children were left in the mother had custody of the children.
But hours later, something changed.
She was sitting outside the Criminal Justice Center waiting to get her partner out. And then DCS approached trying to take the children away.
All 5 children, ages 3 months to 7 years old, were taken by...
I love how they keep calling this man a partner. They're not saying a boyfriend or the baby daddy, anything like that, And sometimes with me, and I'm pretty much sure with a lot of you, we go by what you say and what you don't say, but they keep calling this man a partner, so I'm assuming he's not the father of the children.
Child Protective Services. State Senator London Lamar is among those demanding the children be returned.
I've never heard of children being ripped away from their family for a misdemeanor charge on some simple drug possession when marijuana is legal in half the states in the country.
Their attorney telling NBC News the children were not returned to their parents after a hearing in juvenile court Monday and remain in foster care tonight, pending the results of a drug test.
It's certainly extreme, but the problem is that courts in family law have such vast discretion to decide what they want to do on a case-by-case situation.
The Department of Children's Services says caseworkers acted appropriately.
You know, we talk about transparency a lot, whether that be policy, procedure, protocol, and in this case, we feel like those case managers did just that.
The department did not clarify the grounds for removal, but told NBC News in a statement, DCS and law enforcement follow protocol for collecting evidence. Those findings are then presented to the court. In this instance, the evidence resulted in the court placing children in DCS custody. Tonight, still more questions than answers, as Williams and Clayborne vow they won't stop fighting for their kids.
This has got to end.
And Priscilla Thompson joins us now from Atlanta. Priscilla, this seems like a very significant step for a misdemeanor. Is it common for child services to take children away from their family after a misdemeanor charge like this?
Well, Ellison, it's extremely rare, according to the expert that we spoke to. And one of the key questions here is what prompted the Department of Children's Services to step in hours after the Tennessee Highway Patrol had released these children back into the custody of their mother. And so tonight there are still a lot of questions about this, as it has now been more than a month since those parents have been in, had those children in their custody. And experts also tell us that it can take weeks, if not months, to reverse a decision like this. Ellison?
Priscilla, have you heard anything else from officials about this case?
We have not received any updates from officials. What they have told us is that there is a gag order in place, and because there are juveniles involved in all of this, they are not allowed to speak about this. And we also know that the attorney for the family is now saying that she's limited on what she can say because of that gag order, as well as they wait to see whether or not those children will be returned in the coming days. The attorney says that she expects to have an update by the end of this week. Ellison?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
All right, excuse me, guys. Okay, that is one of the videos I want to play. I'm going to play y'all another one in just a minute. But again, guys, this is a sad situation. But I guess the good thing is I can't say this coming out of this right now that none of the children was hurt, injured, or none of them has died. So that's a good sign for me. And y'all know me, my heart goes out to the children, you know. And that's what my heart is at with the children. Not saying that I don't give a fuck about them. I'm not really just saying that. But like I said in my last video, man, you know, we got to stop trying to blame everything else and try to use our color as the reason as to why all this happening. You know, I mean, our color ain't got nothing to do with us being stupid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you smoking weed in the car with the children, man, just own up to it. You know you aren't supposed to be around no gun, then own up to it. You're going to hear in this video I'm going to play, I think the lady back there with the glasses on, their attorney going to say something about driving while black, and I hate that statement. I think that's a dumb statement. Yeah, I really do. I think it's a dumb statement because, hell, I'm black, and I drive, you know, but I know at the same time, I don't do nothing stupid in my car. I don't do nothing that I know I ain't supposed to be doing in my car. You know what I mean? That's what they got laws for. So, you know, if I'm in there, my car drinking, getting skunk drunk and all that, they got a right to pull me over. If I'm a convicted felon, they run my name and they say I'm a convicted felon, and there's a gun in my car, then that's on me. It ain't nobody else. It ain't got nothing to do with my skin color. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. That is my fault. Okay, if I did that, that is my fault. It is nobody else's fault. It ain't got a damn thing to do with driving while being black. It ain't got nothing to do with that. I never liked that term, and I think that's just a term that a lot of people try to use as a scapegoat to try to justify, you know, their wrongdoings, you know. Now, they personally, Deonte and Bianca, I don't think they personally saying this, that we driving while black. I think it's just something that this lady, their attorney, she coming out saying that. So I just don't get that or whatnot, you know. But however, though, a lot of people in the uproar on this is saying that, you know, hey, I ain't never heard this before. They got pulled over for the misdemeanor, this, that, third. But again, guys, I don't know much about the law because I've never been in trouble with the law. So I could just tell you, you know, what's what and how this work when it comes to offenses like this, you know. But again, like I told y'all in the first video, they claiming there's more to this story now, and I'm still waiting on for more to come out to this story. But before I get into the other video, I want to show y'all a couple of things, a couple of comments that I saw that caught my attention. And I'd like to know what y'all think about these comments I'm about to present to y'all. You give me a minute. Go ahead and find it. I think this is it right here. Or is it? Yes, these are it right here. All right. Yes. Okay. I want to read this one first. This person right here says, they did not take the kids away during the traffic stop. They took them hours later. They apparently found out something we are not being told about. Okay. Let's see here. Let me exit that. Then we'll go to the next one. This person right here says, and again, guys, sorry because this screen kind of small. I guess I could change another screen. Or what I just do? This person here says that she could have gotten the kids back already. She refused to take a drug test. A whole month to get positive. If she cared about her kids, she cleaned up and had them back. That's what that person said. All right, as we go to another one. Again, guys, I don't know how good y'all can see all this, but I'll do my best. This person said, it takes 30 days to disappear from the bloodstream no matter how bad you want it out. Also, if they both allegedly admitted they used it, whether in a car that day or just in life, that could warrant an addictions assessment in that state. They're trapped now. The only way to get the kids back is doing everything CPS orders on time and without fail. Okay. Let's see. I think this may be the same one. Okay, it is, because this had more to it. Look like they had edited or something, possibly. Okay, CPS orders on time and without fail. Doesn't matter if it's legal in your state. Alcohol is legal in many states, too. Yet people still suffer from addiction to it. They have accidents and cause death. They end up in courts and jails, especially when children are involved. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's being used responsibly. Like, you know what? I like that comment. I agree with that. Just because it's legal don't mean a lot of people use it responsibly. Facts. Those are facts right there. I get down with that. This person right here says, let's see if I can blow it up for y'all. I don't know why I want to blow it up. But anyway. Oh, no wonder. I'm in the wrong one. Okay. This person right here says, it's still bad though. And yes, people have been killed by drug drivers. But the kids weren't taken because of the weed in the car or that they admitted to smoking it. It is because she is refusing to take a drug test. Literally the only thing she needs to do to get her kids back. That's what this person is saying. All right. This person right here, which I also like this comment as well. This person says, your choices have consequences. Even if the outcome is wrong, you know what happens when they do it versus what you do. Learn from your mistakes. If they do it again after this, then it goes to show that they don't care. Now, you know what? That's something I've been preaching on my channel for the longest, okay? For every action, it's the opposite reaction, okay? That's why I say, so why people coming out and talking about driving while black or being black on the street or being black this, that, the third, that ain't got nothing to do with the decision that you make, okay? Because the law don't have no color. If the law says you are convicted, you're not supposed to have a gun around you, then it's just what it is, no according to the story, all right? That's just what it is. So where all this, because I'm black, you know, this is why people doing this. Because I'm black, because I'm black. So let's just say the police say pull them over, but they don't want to be justified or be seen as racist. They let these people go and they turn around and have a wreck. Then what would y'all say? Why the police ain't did nothing? You know? So we always say stuff like that, man. To me, it's like, you look at it as somewhat of a double-edged sword, you know, or damn you do, damn you don't. You know, because one hand, the police does something about it. The police stopped them. You know, y'all saying they wrong. But if the police didn't stop them and let them, if the police had stopped them and let them go, knowing you got a convicted felon with a gun in the car, knowing there's weed men smoked around children in the car, and they just happen to crash and kill somebody, then y'all be saying the police was wrong for letting them go. You know, and again, don't take it as, you know, some room for them to get in trouble. I'm just saying, man, let's just use common sense and just look at this right here as for what it is. Their actions is what got them in trouble. And then a lot of people, y'all are missing this right here. The police did not take them children away. That man said when they got through with everything, that woman still had her children. So whatever this evidence that they presented to the courts is what got the children taken away. It wasn't the police, it was the court decision. It was a court decision to take them children away. Okay, so you know, all I'm saying, guys, you know, stop trying to justify wrongdoing, man. If you know you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, then chalk it up for what it is. Okay, look here. If I'm watching somebody's children and I go slap somebody's child, knowing damn well that ain't my child, but I'm slapping the shit out of them and probably slapping the shit out of them for no reason. Or let's just throw out a reason, say just because they spilled a cup of water. How would y'all look at me if I did that? You would say that I'm wrong. You would say that my privilege of watching children should be taken away. Lord knows if I got a daycare, you'd be advocating for my daycare to get shut down. And you know why? Because I'm abusing children. Okay? And I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. So the actions that I did when I slapped that child cost my business to get shut down and cost me to get put under the abuse registry dealing with children. All right? And I probably should be, they probably gonna let me, excuse me, they probably never, ever let me run a daycare again, let alone nobody would trust me with their children because of their incident, because I did something that I wasn't supposed to be doing. Okay? And they won't be called discipline. That's abuse from slapping them. Now, discipline them will be something totally different. But slapping them because they did something I don't like or they being hard-headed, that's just straight up abuse. No way around that. Okay? It ain't because I got my business shut down because I'm black. No, I got my business shut down because I put my hand on people's children. You know, so come on, y'all. I mean, y'all have to look at this stuff sometime, man, and just look at it for what it is, man, and stop trying to make excuses. Stop trying to make excuses. That's all I'm saying, man. Stop trying to make excuses. I don't want them babies to get taken. You know, if they get the children back, hopefully they will learn from this and don't do that again. Okay? Hopefully they will learn from this and they won't do that again. Okay? So guys, with that being said, let me go to this other video because it's something I want you to hear with this other video that I think you might find very interesting.
5 children are in limbo as a family heads to court in a fight to get them back. It's a controversial case after a traffic stop in Manchester involving a family from Georgia.
DCS took custody because officers found a small amount of marijuana in the car. Well, that was 1 month ago. And as News Channel 5's Nick Barris tells us, there are still questions about how and why this all happened.
Here is what we know. A couple out of Georgia was stopped February 17th in Manchester, and their 5 children were taken from them after a THP officer found a small amount of marijuana in the vehicle. One question, was this justified? Now, a month later, no clear answers. Bianca Clayborne and Deonte Williams were back in Manchester this week, going before a juvenile court judge hoping to regain custody of their children, which have been in foster care. The judge issued a gag order on the case. After the closed hearing, attorney Courtney Teasley talked about the details of the traffic stop.
He was stopped for a window tint violation and a slowpoke law in a state where the driving while black report was published.
An estimated 5 grams of a substance believed to be marijuana was found in the vehicle. That alone typically would not be enough to justify removing 5 children from a family. So what else is there? The Tennessee Department of Children's Services is prohibited under the law from commenting on such juvenile cases.
These juvenile proceedings are closed to the public, so we can't share with you the details. But in those hearings, many things are discussed: safety, well-being to the children, custody decisions.
Sources tell News Channel 5 the parents submitted to a quick test on hair follicles the day they were stopped that came back positive for meth and fentanyl, a result that they dispute.
Now, what y'all heard that meth and fentanyl. That's what it came back, meth and fentanyl. When I heard this, when I first heard it, I was like, oh shit, are you serious? But then I said, let me continue listening to the video. This is what I heard.
Experts say those quick tests often give false positives. The parents did not speak after the hearing, but Teasley says there can be no justification under the circumstances to have separated the family.
About how this was similar and felt reminiscent of slavery, with the family being forcefully separated as they were, and a mother restrained, 5 children taken away.
Today I learned the children's mother tested negative for fentanyl and methamphetamine on a urine test.
All right, so they say she tested negative. She tested negative for meth and the other one through a urine test. So I was happy to hear that. I was happy to hear that because when I first heard that, I was like, man, oh wow, you got to be kidding me, man.
And she is now submitted to a more comprehensive lab test on a hair follicle, and those lab results should be back in a day or two. We're told the 5 children will, for now, remain in the custody of a family member here in Tennessee until the final drug tests are back. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Thanks, Nick. Now, if the hair follicle test comes back negative, it's expected the children will be allowed to return to Georgia with their parents by the end of the week, but a final decision will have to come from the judge.
All right, with that being said, again, when I first heard it, when they first said them words, I was like, oh, man, you got to be kidding me, man. This is what more to the story than what they were saying. Fentanyl, methamphetamine. I'm like, man, that is wild, man. And I was just like, this attorney defending this, but again, I was happy to hear where they say she passed it. They didn't say him. They say she passed it through urine and she's going to do the more hair follicles test or whatnot. And I'm thinking too that, if they come out negative, she's going to get him back. I think she's going to get him back. Just by hearing that she tested negative for it, I believe she's going to get him back, I mean, again, I'm not rooting about you to get taken away, I mean, I think she's going to get him back. But my biggest concern with this is, hey, learn from this. Just learn from it and don't make the same mistake again. All right? Now, with this other guy, I don't know. I don't know how long they've been dating, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to knock him because he's a convicted felon, because I do believe people can change. And maybe this man was trying to change, I guess. But then again, how can you change when you still out here doing stuff when you ain't got no business doing? You ain't supposed to be around on gun, man. And you got children in the car. And then, now this one thing I can blame on her, if you knew he had that gun in the car, then yes, ma'am, you allowed that to happen around your children. So I will knock you for that. Okay, but again, but it's a thing as a whole, I'm not gonna knock for that because I do believe people can change, and people still can fall through the cracks. I do agree with that as well. And even for him, I hope he can look at this and be like, you know what, hey, I messed up. Hopefully nothing else come behind this, But then again, he got bailed out, so I don't know what's gonna happen with him, But the main thing I want to bring to this for bringing all that up, and I'm saying this to men and women. we also have to be careful, man, who we bring around our children, okay? You know, hey, your heart is where your heart is, okay? But at the same time, though, we all have to be careful who we bring around our children, who we bring in our inner circle, you know, because everything that glitter ain't gold, everything that's sugar ain't sweet. I mean, excuse me, everything that's sweet is not sugar. Yeah, you know what the hell I'm saying, you know, but, yeah, so, we'll just see what happens, and but my main concern, my main heart goes to them children, and I hope they safe, and if everything pans out right, you know what I'm saying, hopefully they will be returned back home safe to their mom, all right? But other than that, guys, as always, leave your thoughts and your opinions on this update. I'd love to hear what y'all think about this, and hey, stay tuned for more. I'm your man, Chris Storms. Thank you for listening. Peace out.